Uh, well, if you're a fan of the underdogs, it was a rough night for you. If you're looking for consistency in penalty calls, also a rough night. Um, Pittsburgh goes in and it's a complete blast. Like just first period Malkin from Crosby and Kessel, then Kessel from Malkin. Second period Letang from Gensel, Crosby from Gensel and Simone. Third period Sheehan from Mata and Aston Reese. I was asked earlier today what I thought about Hornquist being out. I didn't even answer because I'm thinking, well, because they'll put Simone in, and sure enough, there he is, and he's on the line with Crosby, and there you go. Murray makes 26 saves for his fourth playoff shutout in his last six appearances. You know, honestly, and the shutouts that Pittsburgh generates in the playoffs are Murray's shutouts for sure. They're also inspired by the complete and total team game that they're playing. Crosby now has 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points in 4 games. And as I saw was said in a group I belong to on Facebook, if it was anybody but Crosby having this playoff, we'd be talking a lot more about it. But since it's Crosby, we kind of expect it. We're like, yeah, that's kind of how it works. This Flyers team is clearly outmatched. They don't have the goaltending. They don't have the offense. Of course, Couturier earlier, I thought it was Giroux that got hurt, but it was Couturier got hurt by his own defenseman. That takes the middle, and the middle was already weak for Philly. Philly already lacked the centers to compete with Philly, and that just destroyed it. That just completely took the competition away. Elliott allows 3 goals and 17 shots. Neuwirth comes in, allows 2 goals on 13. There's just nothing here. Now Pittsburgh goes home. They have a 3-1 series lead. And as I said, it is a complete destruction by the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's not a whole lot to talk about here other than the Penguins right now look like Stanley Cup champions again. And it's Philly, so I don't want to read too much into this until round three because I don't think Washington or Columbus have what's necessary to stop Pittsburgh either. The only team in the East that I think has a chance of stopping them is here. The Tampa Bay Lightning go into New Jersey and they win a game 3-1. And controversy, that's an understatement. So Tampa's up 3 games to 1. They're going home with a chance to end their series, the same as Pittsburgh. Palmieri scores from Butcher and Hall. Miller scores from Kucherov and Stamkos. Kucherov scores from Coburn and Miller. No scoring in the second. In the third, Kucherov scores an empty netter from Miller. Great all-around game, right? Vasilevsky makes 27 saves on 28 shots. Corey Schneider, fantastic performance by Corey Schneider. 34 saves on 36 shots. There was an early whistle. Schneider did not have that puck. Odds are that probably would have gone in the third period and given another goal to Tampa, but they whistled the play dead, and Schneider didn't have it. He dropped it, but it's fine. Because the real storyline coming out of this is Nikita Kucherov. So Drew Doughty hits Carrier pretty hard, gets knocked out for game 2 against the Vegas Golden Knights, and of course, famously, now the Kings are out in 4. And game 2, double overtime loss. If Doughty'd been in, would it have been a win? We'll never know. Kucherov shouldn't be in this game. What I mean is, after Kucherov gets that hit on Vatanen, and Vatanen is now out with a concussion, Vatanen being the #1 minute muncher on that blue line for the New Jersey Devils, Kucherov should have been out. At the very least, that should have been 5, and it wasn't. And then the NHL now is likely going to take a look at this. They kept showing on Sportsnet, they kept showing the Doughty hit side by side with Kucherov's. They're really similar. If anything, Kucherov's looks a little bit worse. Doughty doesn't really fully connect with his target. Kucherov clearly did. Now, Kucherov hits the body and then the head, but the NHL said before that doesn't matter. So we're going to find out really quickly here. Does it matter? Does the NHL actually care? The fact that Kucherov played a role at the end of the game and scored the empty netter, to me, that was really, really rough. And I felt for the Devils on this one because Kucherov still being in this game when he probably should have been ejected, based on what the NHL's already stated as suspension worthy, it leaves a bad taste in the mouths of all Devils fans, I'm sure. For me, as a casual observer, I don't like the optics of it. And now Tampa gets to go home and have a chance to wrap it up. And even if Kucherov's suspended, they likely wrap it up because they're at home. This series, I'm not saying New Jersey wins tonight if Kucherov did get kicked out of the game. But the fact Kucherov played the rest of the game had a huge effect on it because Kucherov played a very solid game. Really chippy. A lot of going back and forth between Boyle and various members of the Tampa Bay Lightning. The New Jersey Devils and Tampa Bay Lightning clearly don't like each other. The fan bases are arguing over which team's cheap shotting which one the most. Taylor Hall's been quiet, was quiet tonight. Although he did get a shot he didn't get credit for against Tampa. But yeah, it was a rough night if you're a Devils fan, and I want to give hope to these two fan bases, and I just can't. Pittsburgh dominant, Tampa the better team throughout the game for the most part. The shots were in favor of Tampa in this one, but again, Kucherov staying in the game when he probably should have been thrown out for Vatanen, who may not be back for Game 5. That changes the whole complexion of everything. So this is going to be probably a contentious comment section below. Stay out if you don't like the venom that's probably going to be going back and forth between all four fan bases. But it is what it is. Although Flyers fans seem to be relegated to their fate right now, this was rough. I don't see Philly winning 3 in a row against Pittsburgh. And I certainly wonder who Pittsburgh's going to play in the second round. Is it going to be Columbus? Is it going to be Washington? If it's Washington, we've been there before. So, anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And again, I feel bad for the teams that lost, but I'm well aware that the teams that won are the Stanley Cup contenders of the 4 teams that played tonight. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you again soon.